Mariah here. I hope you guys are good and well. So I want to take a look and see what is the next opportunity, right? The next big break, the next opportunity that's coming your way. So let's hop on into this. Spirit guides, angels, and sisters. We got the Wheel of Fortune coming out. I'm getting turmeric. Oddly enough, because turmeric is really good for anti-inflammatory, but also brightening. Somebody's taking really good care of themselves, whether you're getting into skincare, skin treatments. It's like the better you feel on the inside, the better you feel on the outside. So it's like you're taking care of yourself from the inside out. It's like the more you're pouring love and wellness into yourself, whether life goes up or down for you, I don't know, it's almost like a stabilizing effect for you. I know this may sound a little abstract, right? But no, it really does feel that way. We got the Queen of Cups and also the Five of Swords in the reverse. It's like when you stop fighting or resisting the flow, it can come in for you. When you stop fighting against your nature, when you stop fighting against the nature of how something is supposed to play out, is when it happens. I don't want to be cliche and say, okay, well, when you let go and give it to the universe, things will align itself the way it needs to. But sometimes we can be our own self-saboteur. Sometimes we can get in our own way. Sometimes we can make decisions, rash decisions out of angst, anxiety, or external conflicts, external energies, or even our own mental state, that we feel like, okay, well, we have to figure out a direction, we have to figure out a way, we have to figure out a path. And sometimes we can take steps that are actually missteps that ends up blocking the direction we're meant to flow in. So maybe you're in a space of like, you know what? If this is meant to play out, if it is meant to happen, I'm going to let it happen, which again takes me back to this, like, I know I'm using skincare, which is again the same energy I'm getting, but I think just trying to take care of yourself, taking care of what you can, trying to manage what you can and not micromanage what you can't. Tell me what this is specifically. What is this specifically? The Lovers. I'm getting, oh my goodness, and I know some of you guys are going to correct me in the comments. Is it restoration hardware, anthropology? Like, I'm getting more of these like high-end stores, whether it's furniture stores, clothing stores. Again, just organic, natural, very earthy, but it feels very high quality. Whether it is things for your home, things for yourself, things for your well-being, maybe you're taking care of your diet. It feels like there is an elevation. So if you are in a space where you have the finances to treat yourself to better experiences, I feel like you're doing that to take care of you. It's a form of self-care. It's like you're trying to manage and control the things that you can, and by that you're spending money or putting money behind the things that make you feel good. Or this is like a new elevation. It's like you want the finances to be able to afford the things of quality that make you feel better. You don't want to deal with or accept half-ass, excuse my language, treatments or people or experiences. You want all that life has to offer. It's like somebody wanting the finest of the finest. And I don't mean in a sense of being gaudy or over the top, but what suits you. Maybe you're changing your diet and affording more or buying more food that is better for your health, even if it may be more expensive. Either which way, we got the Lovers here. Tell me more. The Knight of Swords. The King of Swords in the reverse. You may have had a person, I don't even want to say people, I'm gonna delegate this to a specific person. You may have had a person who did not believe in your dreams, may have shut down your ideas. Maybe they second guessed your vision. They didn't believe, or they may have not wanted to invest. It almost reminds me of somebody being like condescending, right? Maybe you have these plans or these ideas you want to act on, and them being condescending towards the things that you're saying, or them not being able to get it, or them being very dismissive. That's the better word. Somebody being very dismissive of what you're trying to strive for, or what you may have lined up, or what you want to line up. But yet there's somebody here who believes in you. They believe in your vision. They believe in the path that you're taking. And this is a person who wants to invest in you, whether that is emotionally, financially, whether it's with their time, energy, resources, maybe even connecting you with people who can help you get to where you need to be. What comes out of this Lovers? Tell me more. What comes from this Lovers? What comes from this Lovers? Wow. And that's you, the Queen of Wands. May I have one more? Whoa. You're not going to expect this. You're getting into something that's high end. I can't, Justice here, even on the bottom of the deck, I can't shake that. If it's not a lifestyle that is moving or elevating up into a more higher end vibration or just a higher end experience, you're meeting somebody. It could be in a high end environment, a high end place, store, restaurant, location, some place that has some type of reputation or status that is well known. It's like whatever this is going to be groundbreaking, but it's not just for you. This feels, and I don't want to go off too woo-woo, but this almost feels like generationally, like you being given or somebody being able to invest in your vision that can actually trickle down beyond you, whether it's for the betterment of a community, your family, your kids, other people that you can inspire. So maybe this King of Swords is one person. Maybe it's multiple people who were dismissive of you. Maybe they felt like you were only going to reach a certain ceiling, or they just couldn't stretch their minds beyond their own reality to see the reality you were destined to create. But I think here for you, Leo, what's underneath that? And the Magician, yeah, you're getting ready to get into something that's like really high end or really expansive. But it's on a monetary sense. What comes after this Tower? What comes after this Tower? Judgment in the reverse. Page of Swords in the reverse. Why is this Page of Swords in the reverse? Oh, okay. The Hierophant in the reverse. What this is very non-traditional. So let's say if others expected you to take the traditional path or take the route that they feel is more tried and true, the fact that you are going against the grain and you're going into something, or you're going to invest in something that isn't really commonly done, other people don't really have the opportunity to do it. Other people can't give you advice on this because they've never lived this experience. And you may feel a little bit isolated with this new investment or this new beginning for yourself, even lifestyle increase, because the people around you has never experienced what you're getting ready to experience. So they can only give you advice, give you perspective from their limited worldview, which may make you feel isolated at times, where you may feel like, well, you have no one to really talk to, or you may feel like you have no one to really use as a soundboard. And whomever this is that is going to be investing into you, whether it's emotionally, and I don't get that it's really romantic, I'm looking at a broader scope here, but they're investing into you emotionally, financially, into whatever it is that you're establishing. Yes, they're one of the many few, we're just the only few, that is able to understand the new reality you're walking into, but there's still going to be aspects of you because they did not walk the path that you previously had to walk to come into this new opportunity that they just won't be able to understand. So there's still going to be a part of you that still feels isolated. They may be able to relate to you on this new venture or this new door opening because they're walking in that same path, or they understand what that route would take, but they may not understand what it took for you to get there and how that surreal mental shift can be, and having to now come to terms with what your past was, but what it's no longer going to be. And that whole adjustment period, you may feel alone in. It reminds me of somebody who, oh my goodness, let's say they go from humble beginnings into a life of excess. And those people who may be in a life of excess, they may not fully understand your humble beginnings. So you may feel isolated in that. And the people who come from your humble beginnings, they don't know what a life of excess is. So they can't understand now having to take on new responsibilities, new challenges, having your world shift very quickly. So there is still parts of you where you are going to have to ground and anchor yourself. And this takes me back to the beginning of this reading where I was talking about skincare and doing things for you that is going to be beneficial, because you're going to have to find an anchor point, Leo. You're going to have to find an anchor point where you can bring yourself back to center, because you may have some people on one end that understand you, some people that understand you from the other scope, but there's still that area in the middle where you still feel like you're walking this alone. I think you're meant to be the bridge. This goes, like how I said, expands beyond you. Whomever this is that it's going to impact, whether it's a community, people, your children, your family, etc. You're meant to be that bridge of two worlds. Somebody who may have came from humble beginnings, humble start, but also somebody who's now in a position of power, in a position of authority, or in a position of able to be in those doors and in those rooms with people who are making X amount of dollars, or who are able to access certain opportunities. It's like you're kind of I don't want to say the gatekeeper, but you're going to be in some way. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but you're going to be able to assist others who are seeking assistance. I don't see you going out of your way, but you're going to be able to assist others in that journey of their own, if they are seeking insight on how to bring together and manage humble beginnings, but also new beginnings. What is the energy surrounding this for Leo? Page of Wands. High Priestess. Woo! And there you go on the bottom. Strength. So this is in its infancy stage. So I don't think you're living in this reality yet. You're keeping it close to your chest. So if you've gone through an ending, or you're in that space of a crossroads where you're going to have to close out something to then pivot into something else, you're not telling anybody about what this something else is. You may allow people to believe, oh, well, my life is effed up now, or man, I lost my job, or I'm in a dead end position. I think you're going to allow people to believe that reality. I think you're going to leave people on the note of just your ending or your exit, but I don't think you're telling them about the new passageway you're walking into. You're keeping that to your chest because it's too early to speak on, and you don't want to speak about a seed that you've planted before it gets a chance to really bloom. And because it hasn't came to its full bloom, or its full I was going to say intuition, but because it hasn't came truly into fruition, you don't feel comfortable. It's like you want to keep this beginning phase and stage to yourself. You want to nurture it in private, and you're allowing your intuition to guide you. And your intuition is telling you, hey, Leo, keep this to your chest. So while you're still in this beginning phase, other people may be looking at you like, dang, why did Leo make that choice? Man, Leo just lost that good job with the benefits. Man, Leo shouldn't have left that relationship, because now what are they going to have? And Leo only has so much in their bank account. They better not come to me for money. They better not come to me for a place to live. They better not come to me for a handout. It's like you're allowing people to believe that reality about you when you know you have an ace in the hole. You truly have an ace in the hole. So let's see. I want to see if there are any blockages that's going to come up against this. I'm getting like Melrose Drive. Melrose Drive. Somebody could be in California. Maybe something with this is going to have you travel to California. You may have to go out towards the West Coast for this opportunity. Maybe with the finances you'll be earning from this, you'll have enough money to travel, and maybe going to the West Coast is one of the places that you want to go to. Let's see. What potential blockages may get in this way? What potential blockages? The Moon in the reverse. The Hierophant in the reverse. The Six of Cups. Okay. Three of Cups. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this by at all with any offense, but, you know, we just going to keep it straightforward here with this. It's like, you know how they say you could take the person out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the person. This is my saying to you here, Leo. I get that you are a realist. You like to be real. You like to be true. You know, you're one of them people, you know, salt of the earth, like I am who I am. You take it or leave it kind of mentality. But because you are going to be required to elevate, to enter into this new blessing and opportunity, you are going to have to shed some of those old layers that you've had from childhood, teenhood, early adult years that I get made you who you were at the time, but it's not going to be the most suitable for this new environment. You are going to have to refine yourself some more. You are going to have to sharpen up some more. You are going to have to let go of some of those behaviors that are very salt of the earth, very, you know, down, I don't want to say down to earth, but very homegrown. That, yeah, it may have worked for you when you were only in a certain tax bracket, or you lived on a certain block or neighborhood, or you were only around a certain financial status of people, but it ain't gonna work for you in these new doors. It's not. So some of the traditions that you have, some of the ways of being that you have, that again maybe hold memories for you that, you know, you miss, you enjoy, it became a part of who you are, ingrained into you. The people that you're going to be around and surrounded by, they're going to spot and smell out who you were. And that's not going to be the most appropriate when dealing with these people who are needing to see a side of you and the version of you that is truly refined and elevated. I get somebody coming into either some money, or you're coming up a few tax brackets, or you're going to be dealing with people of maybe more of a upper echelon type of cloth. And it could even be speech patterns, way of speaking, your vernacular, using ebonics. You're going to have to cut some of that homegirl, homeboy, all that's going to have to go. This is asking for a full-on renovation of who you are and your decorum. So things that we do have this tried and true traditional tie to from what made us us, humble beginnings. If we have been asking for this elevation, we have to meet that manifestation. So I don't see this actually being an external blockage here. I see you potentially being your own blockage if you don't shed those old ways of behaving. Where would this opportunity lead Leo? Six of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles. Five of Swords in the reverse. Strength in reverse. There you go. Ace of Pentacles. Sun in the reverse. Interesting, because we have both your cards here, the Sun and the Strength in the reverse. I like this. I actually really do like this, despite how the cards may look. I will say and not deny, don't bite off more than you can chew. Not in the meaning of what you're getting into, but the expectations you are going to place on yourself. Leo, one of the things I understand about you guys is that you guys expect a lot out of yourself. You truly do. And sometimes you could put so much pressure on yourself to succeed, or to get it right, or to get it done, or to get up and do, that we can set ourselves up for disappointment. And one of the biggest things that this is asking for you in the outcome of this is to give yourself some grace. The ball's already in motion. This is a huge opportunity, whether this is that big old loan. If you're looking for a yes, this is a yes. It will happen for you. If you're looking for confirmation that will X, Y, and Z happen for me? Will I get that job? Will this contract come in? Will I have whatever it may be on the spectrum for you? This is a yes. Either it's been slow moving, or getting the ball rolling on this is going to be a process, right? It's not a, okay, we got it, now we're off to the races. No, this is having to sow your seeds before you can reap the rewards. That's what this screams to me. Well, that's the Six of Wands in the reverse. That's the Six of Wands in the reverse. Page of Cups. Yeah, this is like almost a reality check for yourself. Try to rein yourself back in. I know once this comes in, we start thinking about the money and what we can do with the money, or how we can expand on this opportunity, or what this is going to look like for us in our future, or the accolades or the praise, or how we're going to be able to change our life and lifestyle, whatever it may be that you are seeking. This is like our own imagination or our mind or our fantasies running away with us, when the reality is just going to be more of a longer process than what the fantasy is actually trying to tell us, right? So for you here, Leo, this is asking you to really use that grit and pace yourself, because this is a marathon. This is not going to be a race. Once you get that yes, that's when the real work begins. And I think because of the fantasy here that we may have a little bit, there can be some disappointment when it doesn't unfold as quickly as we want it to, or if it doesn't play out in the timeline like we would want it to, or if it comes with more challenges than we expected it to. Now, I don't see these challenges being hindrances, but I do see these challenges being just timing, right? Having to, let me actually see Five of Swords. Yeah, timing. Okay, it's timing. Yeah. But once you get that yes, you're in there. You're already in there. So there's two facets to this. One of them being you and having to make some adjustments so that way you can be able to sit at the table accordingly and appropriately with these people you're going to have to be dealing with. But then also too, once you get that yes, you get that contract signed, you get the money, you get that loan, then being able to pace yourself through the process, right? I know we may at times want everything overnight, but this is definitely not an instant gratification thing once you get that yes. This is okay, now we have to start building the infrastructure. Now we have to start putting in the work. Now we have to start doing our due diligence. Now we have to start making changes on who we are, but also to make this thing happen. But I love the fact that I was getting this excess, refined, increase in living and privilege in life, because whatever this is, you are elevating to a higher status. So I hope this has made sense, Leo. Whatever you are seeking as far as this energy, it's a yes. If you are concerned, it is a yes. If you are wondering if it's going to happen, it is a yes. All right. So hopefully this gives you the confirmation. You guys take care.